Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm finding out how many dragons I need to defeat Fairy Stockfish. The dragon moves like a bishop and a knight. Now, I did do this challenge 11 months ago, almost a year now, before I did all of the other videos collaborating with other YouTubers doing the same challenge. And in that video, it took me 7 dragons to defeat Stockfish. So today, my goal is very simple. Defeat Stockfish with less than 7 dragons. Let's get started with game number 1. Alright, game number 1, as you can see, we do have the singular dragon on the board. It does cover the diagonals like a bishop, and it also covers these squares like a knight. Now, while I have improved quite a bit since the first time that I did this challenge, I'm not sure that I can defeat Fairy Stockfish with a singular dragon. However, I do recognize a lot of the ideas now, so I am hopeful that I can do it with less than 7. For instance, I can't really take this pawn because of queen to e7, pinning the dragon, and even if Stockfish sacks the queen for the dragon, I will be left with only a king against the rest of its army, which is almost trivial to win. So I'll try to survive for as long as possible, but I have a funny feeling that Stockfish will put me away viciously quickly. With that, we've already lost the dragon. It's now pushing a pawn. I'll come and try to stop it, but I don't have a lot of hope for this game. Oh my goodness, and I'm going to lose with my own personal favorite type of checkmate invented in 3000 BCE by Ooga Booga Ladder. We do lose to Ladder's mate. With that, we lose with 1 dragon. Let's go to move on to 2 dragons. All right, we now have 2 dragons on the board. I'm pretty sure that up until 4, white is still technically worse off, even though I can defeat a human with even as low as 3 dragons, right? We defeated that one grandmaster with 3 dragons twice before finally losing. Unfortunately, this is Stockfish, which will play effectively perfect chess. So I know for a fact that up until 4, the game is technically worse for white, and it's only after 5 that I actually have a chance. So I'll zoom through this game and 3 and 4 as well. You can see I tried to create some sort of ideas by targeting c7, which was promptly blocked, and now Stockfish is pushing pawns down both sides of the board. So this is just about wraps. With that, we lose with 2 dragons. For the sake of the integrity of the challenge, I'm going to quickly try 3 and 4. All right, 3 dragons, let's rock and roll. Oh, are we repeating moves right now? Oh my goodness, if it had played queen to h5, it would have been a draw. Wow, wait, is this? No, it's not possible still, but wow, that was funky. Yeah, and there goes this dragon. Well, oh wait, I can play this. Yeah, but I'm losing it to a bishop. Yeah, this is probably toast. With that, we are finessed out of our 2nd dragon. The 3rd dragon is off in La La Land, doing absolutely nothing for my position, and I'm probably going to get, wow, d5 traps the dragon, and queen defends c7, so there's literally no escape for my dragon, besides the very meager b7, and now I'm getting assaulted. With that, we do lose with 3 dragons. Let's go to move on to 4 dragons. All right, 4 dragons on the board. Let's go ahead and get busy. Very, very aggressive, and see if we can't put this, the strongest chess engine ever created, away with 4 dragons. Okay, on the bright side, I got a lot of material in exchange for all of my dragons, but I did get finessed out of the last one with this pin, so we are just about toast again. But the upside is the next game with 5 dragons is the first time that I actually get a chance to play a game where I know for a fact that I have an objective advantage from the very beginning. With that, we do lose with 4 dragons. Let's go to move on to 5 dragons. All right, 5 dragons on the board. Now, I know for a fact that according to Fairy Stockfish's own evaluation of this position, 5 dragons is enough to have a winning advantage. I also know for a fact that the best first move is dragon to g5. What I don't know is, is knight c6 the best move? I was going to say what I don't know is whether or not Fairy Stockfish will play perfect against this. I'm pretty sure knight f6 was the best move there. Wait, is it already kind of playing random moves? Not random moves, but sort of like inferior moves. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to play this next, targeting f7. Right, we immediately get countered, and then I think I'm supposed to play this because we're threatening mate once again on f7. We're met with pawn to d5, or was this top engine move? I don't really know. Oh, it definitely was some kind of good move because it's very clearly stopping dragon to e5, which is the natural follow-up to continue to target f7, because of course, can't play that now with the knight covering that square. And now I have 2 dragons under attack at the same time. I may have already pooped this. Let's try dragon to c3. Should it take, I take on h8, and then I'm retroactively attacking f7 from the back rank, which is kind of weird. We're met with pawn to f6. It would be amazing if there were some kind of sacrifice here, but it's not super convincing. I can also just take on d5, and then I'm really unleashing a very bad storm of pieces. Let's try that. We'll take on d5. These light squares seem super weak. We do get the queen. We're going to lose a second dragon in just a moment, but this does seem, I think, very promising. Okay, it is now 3 dragons against the rest of Stockfish's army, but I'm actually kind of convinced by this. This seems very possible to win. First of all, we have this check. Problem is, king comes up. If I take the rook, then I lose this dragon, so I probably have to defend this guy. Let's do that by, do I do it by moving back to f3 and doubling up on c6? No, you'd imagine I go back to g3 and target c7 again. Yeah, let's do that. We'll move back to g3. I'm feeling pretty good about this. Sure, e5 blocks this dragon, but does nothing about this dragon. I can just take with check and then win a rook. And now it's 3 dragons versus however much material that is, which doesn't seem terrible. Let's go king to f1. No more checks on the board, right? Bishop h3 isn't possible because I cover that square. We get knight to f6. I should probably get my dragon out of there before there's a discovered attack, because that would be a discovered check with the rook targeting a8. The king shuffles over, and now I'd imagine I just bring more pieces out, like dragon to e3 targeting g5, I think makes sense. Oh, I do get put in check, which is a little bit annoying. Let's go king to g1. I have to be careful of any sort of pinning ideas, but I think I'm okay for now. Rook targets my dragon. Are you kidding me? I just got a notification that says server will restart in 30 seconds. So I've got 30 seconds to wrap this up. Oh, that sucks a little bit. Okay, wait, let's wrap this up as quick as I can. Oh, it's not even gonna let me keep playing. Oh, I see. Okay. Wow. I wonder what the evaluation of this position even is. Maybe I'm already lost here, but anyways, I suppose I can take a moment to learn from my mistakes, given that the server is going to restart regardless. Oh, wait a minute. I was already on my phone, waiting for the website to restart, but I guess we're still in the game, because it suddenly loaded in my move, updated my timer, and then made a move of knight to d4. Okay, so I guess we're still in it. It's targeting my dragon. Question is, do I ignore it and take on e5, allow this capture? The problem is I can't keep sacrificing dragons when I don't have that many dragons to spare as it is. Maybe I take, they take back, dragon e5. I have a funny feeling this is already lost for me, but let me try taking this. Rook comes down. I'm going to take you. Either the knight moves out of the way and I protect, or it takes here and the knight, or rather the dragon takes the knight, and then I'm looking at f6. Oh, it's just gonna sack the rook. Oh, this is quite funny because I've played at a couple of local chess clubs, and a position like this, I'm actually still very capable of winning with the dragon, because it's very easy for even an experienced chess player to calculate like a knight and then forget its movement like a bishop, or calculate like a bishop and forget its movement like a knight. But unfortunately for me, this is Stockfish, so I don't really stand a chance, I don't think, because I don't think this is objectively better. Wow, that's checkmate? Holy cow. I avoided playing king to g2 because of knight to e3, which would fork the dragon and the king, and immediately end the game. But I get checkmated instead. Okay, with that, we do lose with 5 dragons. Now, if I still want to defeat my previous high score of 7 dragons, I have to win this next game. Okay, we now have 6 dragons on the board. I don't know exactly what this material advantage amounts to, if it's +3, +10, +20. I don't know exactly what Fairy Stockfish would evaluate this as, but I know for a fact that it has to be winning. I'm going to start with the same advancing move of dragon to g5, with the only difference being that I now have a dragon that can sacrifice itself for that original pesky knight that developed itself to c6. Now, Stockfish immediately offers me a queen, which who am I not to accept? because I still have 5 dragons left over, which I think is plenty to win this game. I just have to use them precisely because we've already earned a queen. And if a dragon is a bishop and a knight, there's no way that it can be worth as much as a queen, which is worth a knight, or rather a rook and a bishop. So if Stockfish did that, it's because it thinks it's completely losing and needs to get rid of these attacking dragons, which means I need to have more attacking dragons. I still think c7 and f7 are going to be the weakest squares, more so now that there isn't a queen to defend c7, which allows the king to focus on f7. So I think I just need to develop my dragons. I think it really is that simple. So let's get our dragons out onto the board. Knight comes out to f6. Let's get another guy out threatening f6. Maybe I sacrifice and then win the rook. We get knight to a6, which means I could take, pawn takes back, dragon takes. I could also just take here first, pawn takes, dragon takes with check. Bishop e7 is forced, I take this rook. That would leave me with 4 dragons and a mating threat. So king to e8 would be forced, dragon takes, pawn takes, dragon takes. And that should be just completely winning. The cool thing is now that 11 months later, basically 1 year later, I'm also much better at calculating with the dragons. Like I know this is a forced bishop to e7 move because that's otherwise mate. Taking here also threatens mate, which means he basically has to either, create an escape square or move the king over, but creating an escape square also stops me from taking and then looking at the rook. So very nice find. Okay, we'll still take here with check though. I still think I'm completely winning. Check here. We'll kind of just harass Stockfish's king and try to punish it for basically escaping our attack. Next, let's go here targeting e6. Right, it moves the pawn out of the way. I feel like there's checkmate here soon. Or I'm just way out of my mind. But maybe if I go here? No, wait a second. What am I looking at? I feel like if I could get a dragon to e6, I'd cover these squares, which means the king would have to move back. I mean, that looks interesting. And then I would be able to sacrifice on d6, which would almost be checkmate, except for knight c7. I think I just need to develop more dragons and more threats will kind of intrinsically show up. Okay, that is completely free, so I can be confident now that I'm very much winning because it's giving me free pieces out of fear that I'm going to do something. Okay, give me that as well. I'm very confident now that we will defeat our previous high score. Let me just be extremely precise in the follow through. If I can get rid of these 2 pieces, I'm confident that I can get rid of the pawns as well. So can I sacrifice? Check. King would move here. And I'm actually threatening almost checkmate there, so I think I can sacrifice. It might not even take back. Yeah, I was just gonna say, wow. The other thing is my sort of intuition with the dragons has gotten much better to the point where I don't necessarily have to see checkmate. I just have to understand that if I get into that position, in that moment, I will be able to see checkmate, which is crazy to say. But anyways, let's take here because this is pinned. The king goes back. Let's go here. There's really no rush here whatsoever. Give me that. Appreciate it. I can just play absolutely whatever, and eventually it will be checkmate. There's probably checkmate here in 1, and with that, we do defeat Fairy Stockfish with only, quote-unquote, 6 dragons. I feel pretty good about that because it can only get as impressive as 5, because with 5, it's technically winning for white, but you have to know so many different variations to a T that I'm pretty happy with a 6-dragon victory. If you guys did enjoy this video, please consider liking and subscribing. Let me know down below if I should do any more throwback challenges to try and beat previous scores, and I'll see you guys in the next one.